Hello, we're joining MisPix's Palm and Tarot, and we're going to do a mini palm reading here with Erica Johnson from Spirited Gifts.
Hi.
Hello. So the bend in the thumb here, you've got an exact bend here, and that specifies that you've got high flexibility in your joints usually, and high flexibility in your life. So you're able to do more than one task and all the time. So you get very bored easily, and you won't want to stay with one particular thing. You'll bounce from one subject to another subject, which is how you learn, which is how your path is. So that's the bend in your thumb. Your travel lines run across your palm here, and you've got 1, 2, 3 major trips coming up within the next 7 years. A very low mound here suggests that your creativity is limited right now. The higher the mound and the more circular this line, the creative line is, the more creative a person is. So right now you're very straightforward. You're going through a period in your life where everything's very straightforward. This is your financial corner. And the flatter that financial corner is, if I press in, that's a very, very financially responsible person. And if I let it go in its natural state, this shows that you have some lumps, which means stable, unstable, stable, unstable. It's like a pattern. It's like a pattern right here. You can see.
True.
Not true at all, is it? Gotcha. So that's what it shows there. The shape of our hand here, this is what we consider the small psychic hand. There's 5 different types of hands: air, wind, water, fire, spirit. And those are the types of hands shapes as well. Earth hands will be very earthbound, very grounded, very good with trades. Fire hand will be someone is very good with business management, that sort of idea, someone that's in an office situation. And the water hand is, of course, an artistic hand. And the spirit hand is the psychic hand. So we have all these types of hands. The air hand is the intellect hand, and the air hand will be very long. So there we have the small psychic hand right here. Addictions show on the tips of your fingers. If they're blue dots, that is an alcoholic. If it's white dots, you'll see that is a smoker. In this hand, we don't see any addictions. There's completely blank at the fingertips.
True, true.
This is your love line. Some people want me to get into that, some people don't. But if you see any cuts or breaks in that line, that means that a relationship has ended that was serious and a new one has begun. So in this case, this hand, there's still one to come that goes to this person's end of their days. It wraps right around the pinky. Yes. The homes show here in the actual palm, and the triangles represent new homes. And in this hand here, we have 2 new homes still to come within the next 7 years. So the home pattern hasn't finished. You haven't reached your stable position yet with your home. You'll find the children lines are at the actual bend here of the pinky, and we have 2 showing. So that's 2 showing as of right now. If it's another child that is still to come, you'll see a very faint line. But in this case, we have prominent lines.
And I have 2 children.
There you go. So you do have what we consider a webbing here, which would mean somebody that would be very good in water sports or very good with swimming. If they have not tried it before, it would probably be good. So those are the initial lines of the hand. And the fate line runs directly down the middle of the fingers. Right here, you can bend and squeeze, and you can see the fate line. This is what we consider the 100-year mark, which people will live up to in this case. And you see the cracks in the bends here, which says that this person in the beginning of their life had a rough start, or right at the age of 12, 13, somewhere in there something happened. Now it continues, and right what we see here is we're ending up very close to the 100-year mark, which means this person's living into their 80s and 90s at this point. There's 2 sides to every hand, and we look at the texture of the hand as well. So a very soft hand, which means an indoor hand. A rougher skin hand would be someone that deals more with outside. We also look at the fingertips and the moons on the fingertips as well to determine a person's personality. So, but that's for another time. We'll do another episode coming up.
Thank you, Deborah.
You're welcome.
We'll talk. And MisPix's. Thank
And
you.
MisPix's. Thanks.
Bye.